Hey, wrestling fans. My name is Brian Crazy.
I'm JC Styles.
And we're the F and brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com and the World Wide Web since 2010, providing you with the wrestling news, reviews, rumors, insights that you've grown accustomed to. And you saw the title of this video. We are back with our review and results for the 2013 Royal Rumble. The 2013 Royal Rumble took place January 27, 2013, live on pay-per-view. The event emanated from Phoenix, Arizona, and it started off at 7:30 live on WWE.com and on YouTube.com with the Royal Rumble pre-show. It featured the United States title. It was on the line. The current United States champion, Antonio Cesaro, defended his title against The Miz.
Yes, we saw a very good match. During this match, we saw The Miz tweak his knee coming off the top rope. I think he was supposed to kind of jump over Cesaro, and Cesaro kind of ducked under. I don't know if it was The Miz kind of misjudged or Cesaro ran under too late. But The Miz wound up tweaking his ankle, which was announced later on the night when he entered into the Royal Rumble. And we saw a very great match. Cesaro put on a show. The Miz put on a great show. And we saw the reigning and defending United States champion retain the title.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. It was a great contest. There was a lot of back and forth action, but you could tell when The Miz hurt that ankle, it really affected his performance in this match. But he didn't try to just get out of it immediately. He kept going. He kept going. He kept going. He did what he had to do. But unfortunately, he just came up a little bit short. Antonio Cesaro is still your United States champion. Then we go to the official Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Start time 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And we started with the World's Heavyweight title match, a last man standing match for that championship. And Alberto Del Rio is your defending World's Heavyweight champion going into the match. And he squares off against the Big Show. That's the man that he defeated to win the title. And funny enough, a last man standing match. Now, I thought this match was pretty good. There was a lot of back and forth action. There was a lot of brutality, very similar to the match we saw on SmackDown where Del Rio did pick up the title. I think they figured, you know what? We have something that works. Why not? If it works, it's not broken. Why fix it? You know, sort of deal. And they did it again. And I think tonight's match wasn't bad. I really enjoyed the match on SmackDown just a little bit more. But this was not a bad match. Del Rio is still your world champion. Your thoughts, JC?
Yes, like I said yesterday in the predictions, I'm definitely getting behind the Alberto Del Rio character now. I wasn't early on in his career because he was a heel. He kind of played an arrogant aristocrat. But now that I'm getting behind him a little bit, I'm starting to appreciate what he can do in the ring. Yeah, like you said, there was a lot of brutality. There was a lot of good spots in this match. I think one of the spots that I enjoyed the most was the closing moments when Del Rio had Show locked in the armbar and Ricardo duct taped Show's feet to the bottom rope, which led to Del Rio retaining the World Heavyweight title.
And you know what? Like you said, me and JC were talking back and forth via text message throughout the event. Unfortunately, we were able to watch it together tonight, but we were able to get together and produce this review for you guys. And JC made a great point. He was channeling, felt like he was channeling Eddie Guerrero a little bit,
Exactly.
you know, with the lie, cheat, steal, win by any means necessary. And that's what him and Ricardo did tonight. Now, I've always been a fan of Alberto Del Rio. Like JC said, he's just getting behind the character now. When I first heard Del Rio was coming into the company, I went back and looked at some old footage from down in Mexico when he was known as Dos Caras Jr., an incredible luchador down in Mexico. Really got behind him, and I really got behind him more or less for the wrestler. And then I started to like the gimmick afterwards. I just saw how impressive of a wrestler he was, and then I just really started to get into the matches. Then I got behind the gimmick. Then Ricardo was just a perfect counterpart in how they've expanded Ricardo's character. And now Ricardo makes just a perfect complement and counterpart to Alberto Del Rio's face turn. So I think it's a very good progression they're doing with Del Rio. I'm glad that they kept him World's Heavyweight Champion. And he did defeat the Big Show in this match. Then we go into the tag team titles. They were on the line. Team Hell No defended against the Rhodes Scholars.
Yes, like I said in the predictions video, I really wasn't all that into these two teams. I'm very high on the tag team division, and I like a lot of the tag teams that the WWE currently has. Just Team Rhodes Scholars, I think they started forming mid last year. They really don't have, you know, the history yet to be champions, unlike the team of the Usos. Like I said in my predictions video, that the Usos have been teamed since they got into the WWE. They've had numerous chances at the titles and shined on pay-per-view and on pre-shows and past pay-per-views. And I honestly think that this should have been their night rather than Team Rhodes Scholars, because they've had their chance at Team Hell No, and I would have liked to see something different. Although I definitely like that Kane and Daniel Bryan retained the titles in this match, because I am a Daniel Bryan fan. Kane, I know, is getting up there in age, so he's only around for so much longer. But all in all, I like the match. I like the outcome, but I just wish it was under different circumstances.
I totally can understand what you're saying. In my personal take, I like Kane. I liked Kane since he first became the Kane character. I wasn't too much of a fan of Isaac Yankem or any of the previous characters before that.
Fake Diesel.
Fake Diesel, yeah. I wasn't a fan of too many of those characters. But when he became Kane, when he became The Undertaker's brother, the other man from the dark side, it was just such an interesting character. And The Undertaker and Kane have just complemented each other over the years. And the great thing about Kane, he's such a versatile, not only wrestler, but personality. I mean, he seems to be able to reinvent himself every 6 months or every year, and it only gets better. And my personal take, Kane, Daniel Bryan, on paper, you would think this team would never work. But the chemistry that these two guys have, I mean, it's just phenomenal. Rhodes Scholars, Cody Rhodes, always been a huge Cody Rhodes fan. I'm a fan of his brother, who actually returned tonight. We'll get to that in just a little bit. And I'm a fan of his father. It's not because I'm a fan of one member of the family that I like the whole family. I like them all individually. Now, Damian Sandow, I think this guy has what it takes. I think this guy is going to be in the game for quite some time. I think he's really going to take it to that next level. I can see Damian Sandow as a future world champion. Maybe not WWE champion, but I can see him as either Intercontinental, U.S., or World Champion. Now, I enjoyed the teams. I thought the match was pretty decent. Kane and Daniel Bryan are still your defending and reigning tag team champions. Now we go into the Royal Rumble match. 30 man entered. Only one man walked out with that opportunity to go to WrestleMania 29.
Before we get into this match, we did do a predictions video yesterday of letting you guys know that there were 2 rumored returns that were spotted in Phoenix, Arizona over the weekend, and they were at the last minute yanked and not allowed to go out and compete in this match. And we're going to get right into it with, I believe Brian was kind enough to write down all 30 participants, the numbers that they were introduced as, and who they were eliminated by.
Yes, I'm going to run through all of that. Like JC said, we thought there was a possibility of Shelton Benjamin and Carlito appearing in tonight's Royal Rumble pay-per-view. And then earlier on today, there were some rumors floating around that Chris Masters, and I'm trying to think of the other superstar off the top of my head. Unfortunately, I just don't remember that at this point in time, guys. But there was 2 more superstars that were rumored to take part in tonight's Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Unfortunately, those 2 superstars did not take part, and the 2 superstars that we mentioned in our predictions video weren't there. We don't know if it was a money issue. We don't know if they couldn't get the contract down. We don't know if this was just a rumor that got out of control.
Yep.
They were just in town visiting friends, and, you know, it's Royal Rumble weekend, one of the biggest weekends in WWE. So, there's a lot of things that could happen, but we did get a couple interesting surprise returns tonight. So, at the number 1 position was Dolph Ziggler. He was eliminated at number 27, and he was eliminated by Sheamus. At the number 2 position, we got the returning Y2J Chris Jericho, the Ayatollah of rock and roll. And he was eliminated at number 25 by Dolph Ziggler. At number 3, we got Cody Rhodes. He was eliminated at number 12 by John Cena. At number 4, we had Kofi Kingston. He was eliminated at number 9 by Cody Rhodes. At number 5, we had Santino Marella, which was only in the Rumble for maybe a second or 2.
No, Santino was in there for about a minute or 2.
Maybe a minute, yeah. It was the God. Oh,
the Godfather.
Yeah, well, we threw it away, guys. We were going to wait till we got to that point. I was going to do the whole pimpin' easy, man. Remember when Ice-T did that mix for him?
Yes.
I like that CD, Aggression. How many old school fans? I want you to drop a comment below. How many old school fans remember Aggression? All right, we had Santino eliminated. He was the first guy eliminated by Cody Rhodes. Drew McIntyre entered at number 6. He was eliminated number 2 by Chris Jericho. Then we had at the number 7 position, Titus O'Neil. He was eliminated number 3 by Sheamus. At the number 8 position, we had Goldust. He was eliminated number 5 by Cody Rhodes. And you know what, guys? I'm just going to run through the numbers that they entered to kind of get this up quick for you guys. If you weren't able to see the pay-per-view, I want to make sure you guys are able to find out what happened. You know, if you're as big as a wrestling fan as me and JC are, obviously you're on YouTube watching reviews of wrestling, you want to know what happened if you weren't able to watch the event. Number 9 was David Otunga. Number 10 was Heath Slater. Number 11 was Sheamus. Number 12 was Tensai. Number 13 was Brodus Clay. Number 14 was Rey Mysterio. Number 15 was Darren Young. Number 16 was Bo Dallas from NXT. He won the tournament yesterday to be able to compete in tonight's Royal Rumble, to qualify for that spot. Number 17 was the returning Godfather. Hey, I'm going to do it anyway. Pimpin' easy, man.
Continue on.
All right. I had my moment. Number 18 was Wade Barrett. Number 19 was John Cena. Number 20 was Damian Sandow. Number 21 was Daniel Bryan. Number 22 was Antonio Cesaro. Number 23 was the Great Khali. Number 24 was Kane. Number 25 was Zack Ryder. Number 26 was Randy Orton. Number 27 was Jinder Mahal. Number 28 was The Miz. Number 29 was the returning Sin Cara. And number 30 was the illegitimate love child of Steve Wilkos and RVD, the man known as Ryback.
Yes, you know, there were so many good moments in this Royal Rumble. I thought one with Kofi Kingston where, as he was almost eliminated, he jumped on the back of Tensai and then kind of crawled over and stood up onto the announcer's table. Then took JBL's chair and kind of pogo stick his way back into the ring, and then was eliminated.
Also, by Rhodes, just like that, too, a suck, man.
And then you had, you know, Bo Dallas, who had a very strong showing in tonight's match.
Oh, my God, Bo Dallas had an incredible showing. Chris Jericho had a great showing. Sheamus had a great showing. Ziggler was in it from number 1 to the very end. He was the last. I believe the final 4. It was Ziggler eliminated. Then, wait a minute, I got the list right.
Then Sheamus.
I got the list right here, guys. Then Sheamus, then Ryback.
Yes.
John Cena eliminated Ryback to win the 2013 Royal Rumble. Down to the meat and bones, down to what you guys want to know. John Cena is going to WrestleMania to face either the World Champion, which I highly doubt it, or the current WWE Champion, which you'll find out in just a minute who the current WWE Champion is now.
Well, they just look at the link in the video, and then they'll know who is the current champion.
Title, yeah.
Yes. So with that being said, you know, I
guess the suspense is over. Sorry, guys.
I appreciated the Royal Rumble. I enjoyed it, but the thing is, though, I would have liked to have seen a different outcome. You know, giving someone else a chance to go and maybe had someone from the blue brand, win the Royal Rumble and feud for the world title. Now we'll have to postpone that into Elimination Chamber, where we see the possible WrestleMania main event for the world title set up. And now we know who we're going to see going into WrestleMania and fighting for the WWE Championship. Now we're going to get into seeing who, after, you know, you look at the title of this video, you'll see who is the current WWE Champion.
I mean, we could probably just tell them at this point in time.
Yeah, we'll just tell you already know The Rock.
The Rock, and I mean, we could talk more about the Royal Rumble, and I want to for a second, but real quick, The Rock and a frickin' mark out. You know what? The name of the channel. In an effing mark out moment, The Rock became the new WWE Champion. But we'll let you know exactly how that happened in just a second. But when it came down to the Royal Rumble match, I understand why John Cena won. They want to set up this blockbuster match at WrestleMania 29. They want to have the People's Champion go against the leader of the C Nation. They want to do this match one more time. I understand that. That's what they're going to do. I can live with that. I can live with that. Now, if The Rock didn't win the title tonight, like it almost looked like, you know, to be honest, I've been a lifelong wrestling fan for a second. And that's what wrestling has been missing lately. To make you feel that emotionally invested, to make you feel that upset because of a superstar, that upset because of a finish, or that upset because of creative direction, that you will actually consider stepping away from the product. And that's what this match brought you tonight. I mean, it brought you to the edge of your seat. And we're going to jump right into it. The WWE title was on the line. The reigning, defending WWE Champion going into this match for 434 days. The man that has been dubbed Cookie Puss with his manager Twinkle Tits, or Twinkie Tits. Yeah. My bad. I called him Twinkle Tits. It is a starry night in Connecticut, so, you know, in my mind strip.
But, for that being said, you know, it was like once CM Punk got that pinfall after the lights blackened, and then we hear Michael Cole chant, screaming, "It's the Shield, the Shield, the Shield, the Shield." And then we see The Rock is laying through the announcer's table when the lights come back on, and then CM Punk throws The Rock in the ring, gets the 1, 2, 3. It's like all the air was sucked right out of the arena. You could hear a pin drop within that arena. If you really wanted to, you could probably hear someone all the way up in the grandstands probably counting the change in their pocket with their thumb. And that's how silent it went in the arena.
The reaction on people's faces, the disbelief of what they were seeing in front of them. I mean, for a second there, like I said, the suspension of disbelief, like you almost believe that Cookie Puss, I mean CM Punk, my bad. I like Punk too, that's the shame. I've been a Punk fan longer than most people have even known who CM Punk was. But, you know, the thought of Cookie Puss making his way out of the Royal Rumble with that title, the look on the people's faces. I mean, if that was the direction they decided to go, I can almost imagine the rating for Monday Night Raw tomorrow night. We're talking, what, a 1.5, a 2.0?
Yeah.
Domestic rating. And most people don't
funny?
even realize that that's only a domestic rating. WWE is in 150 countries worldwide. So if they suffer in the domestic market, they make it up internationally. But wrestling fans in this community can't ever,
while we're talking,
look outside the wrestling box.
Oh, exactly. Yes, they don't. Well, no, outside the WWE, what the WWE gives them every week. But besides that, got into it yesterday. It was a comment left on our predictions video about why The Rock should win the WWE title, and I guess obviously he must have been deaf because he didn't hear what we stated in the video.
This guy's about to go to wrestling school with JC Styles. A new segment here on F and True Wrestling.
So, like I said in the comment, Brian and I, when we do reviews, the following day, we look at the ratings, and it's broken out by each segment. And yes, a lot of the segments up leading up to the point are rated low. But when CM Punk comes out and cuts a promo, that is probably the lowest rated segment of the night.
Lately, Punk has been doing okay, but that's because, there's been the heavily involvement with The Shield and Ryback and Vince McMahon.
But this time, about a month ago,
Punk has had issues carrying the ratings. A lot of superstars in the current generation have had an issue captivating and getting the audience back that they once had. I mean, go back to 2000. Go back to 2001. There was, X amount of people watching Monday Night Raw. I don't know the exact figure.
And they were making 5-point ratings.
Oh, they made a 7.2, which I don't know if that's 14 million viewers or what that translates to. But now they're down to 4 million viewers. What happened to all those viewers? You can't just say it was the PG product, because PG product came 4 years after that.
It's something WWE is currently putting on TV at the moment that people just aren't interested in seeing.
Even during the Ruthless Aggression era, you saw the ratings falling. But that's neither here nor there. But the reasons that The Rock should be WWE Champion. One, he's going to bring mainstream exposure, something that the WWE has always wanted. Going back to the mid-1980s with the Rock and Wrestling Connection at the first WrestleMania, they've always wanted mainstream exposure. The Rock has transcended the lines of sports entertainment. We've seen it with the Hogans, we've seen it with the Austins, but nobody's done it like The Rock. Imagine him going to the G.I. Joe movie premiere or any of the other movie premieres he has holding the WWE title. Imagine the publicity that's going to get WWE. Now, imagine him going on Leno. Imagine him going on Letterman. Imagine him being on any show, any news. Imagine USA Today tomorrow morning. I can only imagine that there's going to be a picture of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson holding the WWE title on USA Today. Do you imagine the ratings for Monday Night Raw tomorrow night?
Or any show leading to WrestleMania.
Oh my God, we're on the road to WrestleMania, and it's getting hot. So like JC Styles said, the match was going on. The Rock is attacked. The lights go black. CM Punk and I guess the Shield assume if they can't be seen, they're not going to be held liable.
Yes.
BS. The chairman of the board comes out. That's after Punk gets the pinfall and looks like he's going to celebrate and keep the title. That's when, like JC said, the wind was just absolutely taken out of people's lungs. It was just silent in that building. Then Vince comes out.
And he probably got one of the biggest ovations since probably the Attitude Era.
Oh my God. I mean, the crowd just popped for McMahon. It was just that breath of fresh air that they were looking for. And McMahon comes out and says, you know what, Punk, I'm about to strip you of that title. That celebration's about to end. Rock grabs the mic. He's still laid out against one of the barricades out by where, Tony Chimmel and everybody's sitting. And he's like, no, it ain't going to end that way. Restart the match. So he gets into the ring. CM Punk's beating him down pretty good. It looks like Punk's going to go for the go to sleep. Rock hits the spine buster and the people's elbow and picks up the win in the match. Now, in my personal opinion, I've always been a huge Rock fan. I've never been a huge fan of the people's elbow for a finish of a match. I think it's a nice compliment to the spine buster and the Rock bottom. It's kind of like when Cena does the 5-knuckle shuffle. He needs to follow it up with the AA. The 5-knuckle shuffle isn't believable enough to be a finish. And CM Punk was kicking his ass. That's the only thing I would have liked to see Rock hit maybe one or two more offensive maneuvers just to really drive the point home that the Rock did defeat CM Punk, who has been walking around calling himself best in the world. And a lot of wrestling fans do consider CM Punk one of the best technical wrestlers in the world. I know I do. I know you do.
Yeah.
And plain and simple, guys, The Rock is the WWE Champion. Mark out moment.
Yes. So, for the effort brand of wrestling and entertainment, I'm JC Styles.
I'm Brian Crazy.
And we'll catch you later.
Have a great night.